Well, let's talk about some of your projects. We're going to turn the corner there. You mentioned earlier the Great Soul Food Cook-Off, and we had talked earlier, and that was a good point that you made about the show My Mama Throws Down, 2012. Can you believe it? And like you said, it was ahead of its time. It really was ahead of its time. And so fast forward, we really haven't seen any shows like that. And then here comes the Great Soul Food Cook-Off. So share a little bit. I know I watched it on Discovery Plus. We actually did, and I won't give it away. We did an article on the winner. And some people are peeping that because they're Googling that. But just tell me about that experience. You had some great judges joining you, Alexander Smalls, Eric Ajapong, Tanya Hollins. Share a little bit about that experience.
Oh my God, the Great Soul Food Cook-Off was, when we all walked onto the set, you could feel the energy.
Nice.
You could feel the spirit. To be able to tell the story of our food, where it comes from, the historical value of it, and also the diversity, how we can prepare it in a diverse group of ways.
Yes.
Collard greens is like Chef Chris is going to cook them different than Chef Roz is going to cook them, or Chef Jamari is. And it all derives from the same place.
Right.
It's just different variations and different interpretations of it. It still gives me goosebumps to be there with some amazing chefs and the judges, Chef Eric Ajapong, who is my brother for life now,
Yes.
Kwame, Chef Millie Peartree, Tanya,
Yes.
mentioned earlier, and of course the one and only, our host, the Queen, Cartier Brown.
Yes.
Oh, all of us in the room knew that there was something special. Alexander, I've been going, when Alexander opened Cafe Beulah.
Wow.
Way back when, it was Drew Neaportant who first took me. It was Drew Neaportant and Robert De Niro who took me to Cafe Beulah. So, so much history there. But we looked around and we knew it was something different. It was painful, but it was also a reckoning moment. But most importantly, we felt the spirits there with us. We felt our ancestors in the room, the energy. At one point, we just had to shut down.
Wow.
Because we're all sitting there with tears in our eyes.
Wow.
It was so much bigger than the food. It was being accepted, being seen. That's what it was.
Yep.
We all felt that for the first, I'm getting chills as I'm talking to you. We all felt for the first time that our food and our history and our story was seen. It was heard. And before the Great Soul Food Cook-Off, you would see one of us on the stage. Sprinkle a little dab.
Yep.
And the prize was $50,000.
Wow.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with 10.
Okay.
Or 25, but $50,000.
Wow.
Validated who we are and the significance of what we do.
Wow. So what would you say to the chefs coming up today? Because one of the things that really sticks out in my mind, especially with Kwame and Eric, especially when Eric was on Top Chef, he was like, this is Ghanaian food. This is what I'm serving. This is who I am. This is who I'm bringing to the table. And for me, that was such a pivotal point because it really said, you know what, you need to learn the textures and the flavoring of different cultures. Because just because you don't know doesn't mean it's not good food. So judges become familiar with that. And I love him for that. And that to me just was like such a great pivotal point, I think, in terms of telling those stories and telling who you are.
Not only is Chef Eric Ajapong an amazing chef, he's an amazing man. And he's comfortable in his skin. Eric is at the top of his game, but he's also paid the price. He does the research. He travels extensively. He tastes, he savors, but he immerses himself in the culture. And whether he's in Thailand or whether he's in Ghana or Nigeria or New York, Eric immerses himself And to be able to taste, touch, feel, and smell objectively, and not thinking one is right or one is wrong or better than the other, that's one of the things I love the most about him. He understands that food tells a story. It tells a story. Not only does it tell a story, there's a backstory. And that's what makes Eric special. Eric wants to know all of the roots of every dish, every flavor, every spice. He's extremely inquisitive, and he wants to know the who's, the what's, the why's, the when, and the where. And that's part of what makes him not ordinary, but extraordinary.
Wow. And I bet you, as you look back at the chefs that, you've had chefs pave the way for you, you're paving the way for others. I mean, that has to be a great feeling just to see, because I know many have said, what, Chef Melba, I look up to her, the influence that you've had. And I mean, that's got to be proud for you to know that the work that you're doing in the community, people are paying attention and it's influenced people.
God, see, so this is something that I struggle with. I'm like a horse with blinders.
Okay.
And this is probably that thing I need to work on. But I don't take time to I don't pat myself on the back.
Okay.
I don't look to the left or to the right. I'm a horse with blinders. I look at the fact that I have so much more to do.
Right.
There's so much more that I have to do. We fed over 200,000 people during the pandemic. How much more can I do?
Right.
200,000 is not enough.
Right.
Why can't we feed over 200,000 when there's not a pandemic? So that's what I look at. I'm very competitive. I'm very competitive with me. Okay. I never compete with anybody else. Nice. I am my biggest competitor. I want to do better than I did yesterday, better than I did last week, better than I did last year. But not better for me, better for my community, and better for those who look up to me and those who are yet to come.
Wow. So speaking, you said you have more work to do. What are we working on?
Oh, look at you, Shereen. Good lead-in. Well, I just opened Woolman Rink in Central Park.
Congratulations.
Super excited. And I've partnered with Harrods Blitzer Sports, who they own the Devils, they own the Prudential Center and the 76ers, as well as with Great Performances, who I love. They are the biggest caterers here in New York City. Wow. And Equinox related, Stephen Ross, who owns Hudson Yards and Time Warner Center, and the Miami Dolphins. And so I'm excited. But the beauty of that space, I have to tell you this, right, is as a child, my mom and dad would take me down to the rink and my siblings down to the rink. Only my dad worked. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. So we couldn't afford to go actually skating. Wow. We couldn't afford to go in the rink. So there's an overlook that looks over the rink. We used to stand there and watch other people skate.
Wow.
And that was our outing. That same overlook is where Melba's is today.
Oh my goodness. What a full circle moment. Oh my, does that just make you like, oh my God, goosebumps?
Every time I say it.
Girl, what don't they say, won't he do it? Won't he do it?
Won't he?
Won't he do it?
And he also says, just ask and you shall receive. Wow. And he also says, if you take one step, I will take two. He also says, faith the size of a mustard seed.
Absolutely.
Yes, he will do it.
Nice, nice. Any future cookbooks that we can look forward to?
I'm working on 2 books right now.
Okay.
So super excited about those. My only book, girl, writing a cookbook. Oh, girl, that's a lot of work.
They don't know, do they? They don't know.
What? Because most of the times when I cook, it's by sight. I grew up in Southwest, we throw down like that. So it's really interesting to do a cookbook. It was like, at one point I called, oh my God, Eric. What's his name? Eric, help me out for a second, Cherie.
Not our Eric Ejapong.
No, he's an author. but not not in the cooking. Oh, Eric Dickey, Eric
Okay.
Jerome Dickey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll redo that so you can edit that part out.
Okay.
So at one point I called an Eric Jerome Dickey, may God rest his soul, and Simon and Schuster said, "Can you get this done in 6 months?" I'm like, "Sure." Never wrote a cookbook before. Didn't know. No, I can't get it done in 6 months. I was taping a TV show at the time, and Consumed. I was taping that at the time. Oh yeah, I can get this done, girl. I called Eric. Eric said, "You have to go away." Go. Went away. Got one recipe, maybe two done.
Oh
So
no.
I called Eric back. I said, "Eric, if you ask me, Melba, I'll give you a tweezer. Would you prefer to finish the book or to pluck every strand of hair out of the right side of your head? What do you think I'll do?" He goes, "What would you do, Melba?" I said, "Give me the tweezer." I would.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was good to challenge myself. It was an amazing experience. So yeah, I have two more books.
Wow. But you've negotiated, I'm sure, more than 6 months.
Hello. Yes,
Wow.
I have learned. I have definitely learned. But yeah, two new books, and I'm also opening in Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, amazing. What's sort of our ETA? We know things happen in terms of buildings and just things out of control, right? But what's our ETA on that?
First quarter 2023. And
Wow.
it's also being designed by my dear friend David Rockwell, which I'm super excited about.
Wow.
And
Wow.
partners with the Fidelco Group, who they're out of Newark as well. Great location, right across from Rutgers. So I'm
Wow.
super
Wow.
excited about it. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit in our last couple of minutes, what is self-care for you?
Ooh, self-care is something new to me.
Okay.
I just learned it during the pandemic. Self-care is knowing that it's okay to see a therapist once a week. Yes,
Okay. Okay.
okay. That's
Okay.
self-care. That is self-care. Because traditionally, we as people of color, oh, girl,
Don't,
I'm not
don't
crazy. Girl, okay. It has become a part of my regular routine.
Yes.
Dr. Lino, I love and appreciate you. Thank you so much. Self-care is getting a massage every 2 weeks.
Right.
Um, you know, working out the knots in the body. And self-care is taking a little vacay.
Yes. Yes.
I'm an Aruba girl.
Nice.
And self-care is doing one of the things that I love the most, which is reading.
Okay.
And I've gotten away from reading so much. And I love to read. So taking a minute and reading a chapter a night.
Nice.
So
Nice.
that's what self-care is to me. And being still.
Yes.
Going to the
Absolutely.
theater. I love the theater. So
Absolutely.
while Broadway has been struggling, I'm at the theater at least twice a month.
Nice.
And
Nice.
yeah, that's self-care.
Wonderful. What would you tell your younger self?
Ooh. That's a great question, Sheree. I would tell my younger self that something I just recently said, that it's okay to take off my Superwoman cape.
Okay. Okay.
And it's okay not to be okay.
Nice.
And it's okay to say no. And no is a complete sentence.
Yes.
That does not require an explanation. No, it's not.
And it's okay to say I'm not okay.
Girl.
It's okay to say I'm not okay.
Yes. Yes. And to say it to ourselves first, right?
Yes. Yes. Awesome. Well, this has been such an amazing conversation. Thank you so much for joining me. Wishing you just tons of blessings and success, and so excited about all your new ventures. So we definitely will be keeping up with you and cheering you along the way. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And I appreciate you and super excited for you as well. Ditto, my sister. Ditto.
Thank you. Thank you. This is Cherie Williams again with the Diaspora Food Stories. Be sure to check out this episode on diasporafoodstories.com. Also, if you would like to support this work, as well as our work with Cuisine Noir magazine, feel free to support with a donation. We appreciate that. And this also helps to keep these stories going. Again, thank you, Melba. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you.